Okay. Just thought I would do something like this for fun because I've watched other people do tours of their books. So here's me throwing my hat in the ring. And I guess we'll start from the top and work our way to the bottom, where this is my obviously box set of Chainsaw Man. And I mostly got it because it was on a really good sale. And that's about it. I saw a bit of the anime, thought it was cool. Got this, and I've enjoyed it so far. I just don't feel like a ton of motivation to keep going, but I probably will eventually. In The Promised Neverland, I heard really good things about the first little bit of the anime, and I just thought this box set with the poster was really cool. And I haven't seen like where the anime gets quote unquote bad, but and I don't know if there's like huge differences between the books and the show, but I've enjoyed everything I've seen so far, but it does definitely get less interesting after a point, and I haven't finished it quite yet, but I'm halfway through and I'd like to finish it. This is my Claymore box set, which I ashamedly have only gotten 2 books deep, and I have really enjoyed it, but I mostly just got it because it was on a big sale and people were like, hey, if you really liked Berserk, you should check out Claymore. And I just got distracted with other series, but I will read all of it because I've really enjoyed the first 2 books, like Sublime Dark Fantasy, and just a really beautiful box too. Such a great conversation piece. And here's what started all this madness, where I don't feel like you need somebody to really tell you how good Berserk is, especially if you're in the manga space. But I'll talk about it anyway. Where I've watched anime for a long time, but I never really read any mangas. But then I saw this, like the first one, but I'm just showing the front of this, in Walmart. And I was like, I know that Dark Souls was inspired by Berserk, and I really like Dark Souls, so 3 books in one, like, sure. And then I ended up getting so obsessed with it that I quickly collected everything I could, even the newest one there, which looks funny next to the huge deluxe editions. And I also have the light novel, The Flame Dragon Knight, but I keep that with like my novels, not the picture books. But Berserk was truly life-changing for me for just how good it was and how wonderful some of the ideas and moments were for me, especially at that point in my life. Like, I love most all the characters. Like, the art is beautiful, the action's awesome, and fun fact too, the first time I ever saw Berserk was of the PS2 game, and that's really cool. Sadly, only in Japan though, but I do have it over in my games case, but we're not talking about those. So, best book series ever made, if you ask me. Love my boy Guts, love his crew, Screw Griffith. And this has become a pretty close follow-up on some of the really enjoyable reads I've had lately, where I actually got that Gachakuta, if that's how you pronounce it, and the first Kaiju number 8 on the same day, and I read them in the same night. They were both really good. And I have number 8 of this pre-ordered, so that'll show up, and I'll be really happy when it does. Don't want this to be super long, but it just has a really cool style. I love the graffiti, like the grungy graffiti look. I like all the characters, the powers are cool. Like, it's just awesome, and I just ran out of it way too fast. They need to put it out faster. Plus, the main character, I really enjoy him so far. And over here is the first time I've ever been interested in a sports series. Like, I've enjoyed sports movies across my life, but I was never a sports guy. I'm still not, but I also randomly picked Blue Lock up at Walmart after Berserk started this madness, and I ended up really enjoying it. So I've gotten up to 8 now, and again, like a lot of the same. The characters are awesome, the art style is really cool. I love how they draw crazy eyes, and they sure love their femboys in this series, and that's all I'm gonna say. Over here is something I never thought I would read, but someone I watched recommended, like, hey, if you want something a little different, try a bride story. And don't let it, like, what did he say? He was like, don't let it put you off because it sounds really girly. It's actually a pretty cool slice of life. And I checked it out, and I've gotten up to 5, so that'll tell you that I like it. And it's a cute slice of life romance. You just have to get past that the main couple has a pretty big age gap, and the guy is like 12, 14, something. But it's the old days, and they're tasteful with it, so it's not like it's really like gross or feels bad. So, yeah, if you want to give it a try, you should. It's very beautiful, and just kind of gives you that uplifted feeling. Plus, they're really nice hardcovers. They just have this stupid outer case that I hate on books, but they're cool. This is definitely another one that I've really enjoyed of Kaiju number 8, where I got a little burnt out on superhero stuff, and then I read Kaiju number 8. It was just so awesome in like every way. So I quickly devoured everything I could. I haven't read the side B1 and 2 yet, but I am caught up with all 14 in English. They're really nice. And action's good, combat's good. Pretty much the same thing. It's all good all around. You should check it out if you haven't. And here is actually my second favorite series right now, which I was very surprised about, of The Bugle Call, where it's pretty meaty compared to these other books too, where, again, I just got this from the same guy who mentioned A Bride Story, and I just fell in love when I read it, and I've not seen anyone else talk about it, and it's just so good. I love all the characters so far, and it just has that very authentic feeling of a dark fantasy, but also has that like fresh feeling, like you're not just reading the same dribble. Like, it's just really awesome, and I don't want to keep saying the art was awesome, but the art was awesome. And please, check it out, and if you can, buy it, because apparently they're not selling super amazing, and I think they are incredible. You should really read them if you get the chance. Over here's Tower Dungeon 1 and 2. I got a lot less to say about these, mostly just because not a lot has had the chance to happen yet, but they're pretty cool. I like them. The style has like a very charming feeling. The monsters look cool, and so far it's just a good start, but not a lot to say about it yet. Over here we have A Girl on the Shore, which I had heard it was like one of the more controversial books of that author, or mangaka, whatever you call it. And without pouring my life story onto anyone who would care to listen to this, it hit me in a lot of ways I wasn't prepared for, and it was definitely felt very personal to me from what I've struggled with in my life. And it was interesting because when I finished it, I was just like really irritated and just like, oh, I hated those characters. But then when I had like a chance to digest it, I ended up really enjoying the experience because it just really got me thinking about myself and my past, and I thought it was really good. Maybe everyone else is like, it's trash, but I enjoyed it. Definitely not an easy read, though, and I wasn't prepared for how graphic it was going to get. Over here, we have some, I guess, kind of comedy, slice of lifey books of My Girlfriend is a T-Rex, where I don't know how much I can show, actually, but it's not like super crazy. It's just, I don't want trouble. And, there's only two, and, you get what it says on the tin. A guy gets a dinosaur girlfriend, and just their misadventures. Not a ton to say. It's just fun. And You Like Me and Not My Daughter, where just like a quirky little romance story about a guy wanting to hook up with his friend's mom, well, stepmom, and still a mom. And, again, not a lot to say, just fun. Over here we have the recently released Doranki, and I was really happy to get this because I just love Berserk so much. So now that the author is gone, it's kind of like, well, this is kind of the last thing we'll ever get from him. And the story isn't finished, too, because he passed away. So it ends at a really sudden point, and there'll probably never be more. But you get, like, notes at the end of what could have been, and, like, sketches and stuff, and it's really cool. You should check it out. Then you have the manga versions of Lovecraft stories, like The Call of Cthulhu, which I really enjoy Lovecraftian horror, and I have a book in my novels collection of all Lovecraft's stories. Sorry if I'm a little out of breath. I'm a little sick right now. Like, I really enjoy his style of horror, and these are just really good, where it's pretty much just the original story with really cool artwork. So you should really check this out if you get the chance. And I read this Color Out of Space a little while ago, and like, it actually creeped me out so much that I couldn't go to sleep right after reading it. This was just really, really good. I haven't read The Hound and other short stories yet, but I'm sure it'll be great because these other two were really good. Here's a series I'm not sure about how I feel about yet, Ragna Crimson, where the second one just arrived today, and I'm kind of split down the middle with how I feel about the first one, because the art is really nice, and it has like a cool kind of idea of the revenge story, but it also has like a few pet peeves of mine in it. I'm not 100% sure if I liked it or not, but I'm like, well, I'll give number 2 a chance to like solidify how I feel about it, and then we'll see where we go from there. It's not bad, it's just, I don't know if I want to get like all of it. And we have what I have up until now of the Soul Eater Perfect Editions. And Soul Eater is really cool. I watched the anime when it was on Netflix or something back in the day, and I'm like, oh, these are really cool editions. I should get them. The only dumb thing is that they're a book and a half, so it'll just end at like weird points sometimes. Like, why not just make it 2 per? But, too late now. But they're really cool, and they look just beautiful. Look at her. Gorgeous. Soul Eater's pretty cool, and I want to check out Fire Force after I read everything, because I still have a fair few to go, because there's 17 of these. Because I've not seen anything of Fire Force, but I'm like, hey, that looks cool. I want to see it. And then you have the scariest book I've ever read of Uzumaki, where I had heard of it when the anime had just come out and people didn't like the anime very much. I'm like, hey, people have like really good things to say about this guy's books, this Junji Ito. So, and this is like a collection of 3 because it's a 3-book run. And yeah, what it's funny what happened too, because I read most of the first book. I was like, yeah, this is cool, like this is creepy. It didn't like super grab me. And then when I just had some free time, I'm like, let's just blitz through the whole thing just so it's not like nagging at the back of my mind. That was a mistake because it just kept getting scarier and scarier and scarier, and it touched on a lot of my personal fears. So reading that all in one setting was very mentally exhausting in the best way possible. It was really good. And it's funny too because it's not a spoiler that, a lot of the horror of the book is themed around a spiral and spirals in different ways. And when you stare at a spiral for long enough, your vision kind of starts to like spiral too if you look away. So when I read like 2.5 books all at once of just staring at spirals, when I finished, I like look up and my vision is swirling like a spiral, and that creeped me the heck out. It was super immersive. Like I was so disturbed that I just had to go on a walk with my dog and just try to forget about the pain. But it's amazing. If you haven't got the chance, you should totally read it. And I haven't had the chance to read this yet, but I got a really good deal on it of a deluxe edition of the 2-book run of At the Mountains of Madness, where it's a really beautiful, huge book. And I've read a teensy bit of it, and I like all of Lovecraft's work, so I know I'll like this because it's just the original story, but with new artwork, and it's really cool. The only bummer is that I think it's just a little too big, because all the berserks kind of fit comfortably up there, and then this giant just doesn't fit with anyone else. I guess I should also mention what's my process of organization. I just put it like size-wise. I try to keep series together if I can. That volume 42 of Berserk will probably get moved though. So the huge books are up there, then the taller books are all together, and the shorter ones are all together. Because that's just how my brain likes it, is to kind of just keep it with the same size. This big monster just doesn't fit anywhere, but it's cool. And down here is kind of what I've deemed my one-off shelf of books that I either liked or didn't, but I'll just probably not get more of them. Where we have Beast Stars over here, and it's a beat up used copy for cheap. You can see its damage. And I bought that beat up one specifically because I bought a new one at a Barnes & Noble, and maybe I could show it sometime. It's over there. But it had the weirdest misprint I'd ever seen of, towards the end of the book, it like completely repeated a whole previous section and then randomly switched back to what it was supposed to be. And it really messed me up as I was reading it, because I'm like, is this supposed to be a flashback or something I'm just not understanding? No, it was an error. So I'd like to have like just a normal version of it. So I just bought like a cheap one for $4. I bought this Tokyo Ghoul, where I haven't read it yet. I just wanted to give the series like a try first, because I really wanted to get the box set, but I'm like, hold on. Maybe actually see if you like it first. Like, you've been kind of shooting the gun a lot. So this was another one for like really cheap. It's pretty beat up too. So if I end up liking it, I might get the box set. So we'll see what happens. And got One Piece, which I kind of just bought because it's One Piece and I don't need to explain that. And I like it. It's just not something I'll probably pursue collecting, just because I want like a collection that's pretty personal to me. And One Piece was just one of those things that I didn't grow up with it. Like, I didn't know people who liked it. It's just I knew of it. And at this point, it's like, I mean, I could get into it, or I could just focus on different things, and that's probably what I'll do. Nothing wrong with One Piece, though. That's just a personal decision. Got Fist of the North Star, which is a really nice hardcover version. And I liked it. It's just, it definitely didn't go the direction I thought it would, where it felt like it was speed running, like another style of book. But then the main guy's just like, no, we don't got time for it. Everyone's got to die now. So maybe I'll get more someday, but I don't regret buying that one because it's really cool. Got Fairy Tale 2 omnibuses, and I grew up watching Fairy Tale, and I like it. It's just one of those things where you kind of grew out of it, and you just don't enjoy it as much. So these two I kind of just bought because it was just fun to see them in manga form. And it's nostalgic, but it's probably something I'll never actively pursue. And there you go. There's the current manga lineup. I have Gachakuta number 8 coming because it's going to be released soon. And I pre-ordered the Bugle Call Volume 4. So I'm really excited for that. Yeah, that's the current lineup. Stay safe out there, everybody.